Imagine this. The sharper your mind becomes, the less you want to be anywhere noisy. You walk into a room full of laughter and small talk and feel strangely distant. Why does silence sometimes feel like home? This video is for anyone who has ever felt out of place in a crowd. For those who find meaning in a quiet room more than a crowded party. For the thinker who prefers depth over distraction. Stay with me, the final insight will change how you see your solitude. I've studied your document, Why Smart People Abandon Social, and distilled its core into a clear message. Here's the reality. Social life often masks itself as connection while it's actually noise. Schopenhauer cut through polite illusions. To him, much of socializing is a drain. Gossip, vanity, obligation, a steady siphon on the inner life. Think of attention as an artist's canvas. Each interruption smears it. Every trivial conversation steals a brushstroke. The serious mind needs room to paint. History shows the pattern. Many great creators step back from crowds. They don't hate people. They protect their inner work. Ask yourself, when did you last leave a gathering feeling filled, not emptied? The answer shows whether your solitude is a flaw or a signal. Solitude is not always loneliness. For many thoughtful people, it is shelter, the quiet where ideas grow. Now let's open Schopenhauer's first blunt truth. Why noise harms the thinker and why withdrawal reclaims the self. Keep listening, we begin now. Schopenhauer believed that the ordinary social world thrives on distraction. Small talk, endless gatherings, forced laughter, they all work like background static. To a deep thinker, that static is unbearable. Why? Because every moment spent on shallow exchange is a moment stolen from reflection. Imagine your mind as a library. Every book inside contains wisdom, creativity, and clarity. But if the library doors are always open, with people constantly barging in, rearranging shelves, and talking loudly, what happens? The books lose order. Silence vanishes. That's what social life often does to the intellectual mind. Here's the paradox. Most people fear being alone, while the wise often fear being consumed by the crowd. Ordinary minds seek amusement outside. Superior minds find nourishment within. Solitude becomes not punishment but freedom, a higher form of company, the company of one's own thoughts. This doesn't mean the philosopher hates people. It means he values truth over chatter, depth over performance. When Schopenhauer says the wise withdraw, he's not romanticizing isolation. He's revealing a defense strategy. Protecting mental clarity requires limits. The less entangled you are in trivial company, the more power you have to think, create, and truly see. Ask yourself again, what do you lose when you say yes to every social demand? Your time? Your peace? Or worse, your originality? Now comes Schopenhauer's harshest truth. Society does not always celebrate the thinker. It often rejects him. Why? Because the presence of a mind that sees deeply unsettles those who live on the surface. When you refuse to indulge in gossip, when you prefer silence over noise, the crowd feels judged. Even without saying a word, your solitude speaks louder than their chatter. Think of it this way. A candle burning brightly in a dark room makes others notice the shadows on their walls. Many don't want to face those shadows. So instead of seeking light, they resent the flame. That's why the philosopher, the artist, or the visionary often feels misunderstood. Their withdrawal is not arrogance, it is survival. But here lies the gift. Solitude refines you. In silence, you develop clarity of thought. You discover truths about yourself. You learn to create meaning rather than consume distractions. Great works of philosophy, art, and science were not born in crowded halls but in rooms where solitude guarded focus. Of course, loneliness may sting at times, but Schopenhauer insists, the higher the intellect, the greater the need for quiet strength. True fulfillment doesn't come from endless company but from aligning with your own mind. So, the next time you feel guilty for stepping away, remember this. Solitude is not emptiness. It is space. Space for thought, for creation, for self-respect. Protect it. Cherish it. Because in that silence, you're not abandoned. You are finally at home.